conference. We're going to go ahead and get started with our keynote speaker. So today, Carrie and Stephanie, who are parent representatives on our board of directors, will be introducing him. So thank you very much.
Drayton Jackson, a New York City native, moved to Seattle in 2005. Moving to Washington, Drayton worked in a high-paced hospitality industry and in the music and entertainment industry for 20 plus years. However, he spent 10 years homeless. After relocating for a better start, he found himself homeless again. He and his family lived in Sally's Camp before receiving temporary housing from Kitsap Community Resources. With his personal experiences and knowledge, Drayton brings in-depth insight for an understanding of people in need and believes that sharing his compelling story will help others to move forward to recognizing how to assist families in need.
Drayton has spoken with White House officials during the Obama administration about Head Start and homeless families in Washington State. He has fought for homeless students and child care for students. Advocate for equality and inclusion of professors at colleges, he serves as the board member of the Washington State Association of Head Start and Early Childhood Education and Assistance Program. He served on the Kitsap Sun Editorial and Kitsap Community Resources boards. He was vice president of the Policy Council for Kitsap Community Resources Head Start, and he served as the Olympic College 2015-2016 student body president. He currently serves on the Central Kitsap School District Financial Committee. Drayton is the founder of the Family Day Foundation, an organization whose purpose is to take homeless families to events. Drayton is the father of 6 daughters and 2 sons, and currently resides with his wife in Bremerton, Washington. Please help me in welcoming Drayton Jackson.
All right, give them a round of applause, please, please. So I want to do just a little something that, because I've always been on that side at these events, and I think I spoke at one other one, but it was much smaller. It was with only directors. So if you can, I'm going to say to you, are you ready? And then say, I'm ready to listen. All right? And then I'm going to say again, are you ready? And then you say, I'm ready to hear. We good? Because we are in Head Start, right? The children, you know, you ever been to the class or volunteered, you know. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, they'll see, there we go. See? All right, so here we go again. So I don't have to clap 3 times, do I? So, when I say, are you ready? Say, I'm ready to listen. And then the second time, are you ready? I'm ready to hear. Ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready to listen.
Are you ready?
I'm ready to hear.
All right, there you go. Because there's a difference. I didn't realize that until I got in the Head Start. All right, so first I want to thank Blair Hyatt and Cal Richardson for inviting me to Pennsylvania. And Joel, who is, I'd say, my mentor, man, and probably my lifesaver in Washington State, who really nurtured me even on this path to being part of Head Start in a different way. And I'm going to just say this going off that sometimes you don't know that you have a story, and you don't know that you have been through something until somebody else really points it out to you. And that's what Joel did. And Kyle, you know, he's probably one of the most energetic and free-spirited people that makes me look normal when I speak a lot, you know, because I can ramble, you know. So I definitely thanks to you guys for inviting me out to this. And also want to say thanks to the board of Pennsylvania Head Start Association. The board is very, very important. I sat on the board for WASA, as they stated, and as a parent, to know that, and understand you're sitting on a board, like it matters, there's money, there's decisions that are changing people's lives. And, you know, when I sat on the board for the first, 3 days, when we had our conference, and I'm sitting there quiet, and then they said something about parents, and I was like, no, what are you talking about? No, we can't do that. You know, so you start to realize that your voice matters. So thank you to the board for also approving me to be here. And to all the organizations and sponsors that are participating in this conference, it's important that, you know, everybody is a part of nurturing the children from the pre-K level and up. So you guys are also a part of this. Don't think that, just you're throwing money at it and you're sponsoring an event and then you're not. No, we look at you as one of our allies and somebody that we want to support as parents and as organizations for Head Start as well. And then finally, to all of my parents that are here today, I want to say give yourself a round of applause. Because you're on the front line for making sure that not only your children, but every children that does not have access to real quality childcare and access to, I'll say, good education. And I'm just being honest with you with it. Right? Oh. So the key that is important to you as a parent, that you got to understand that the work that you're doing, you're on the front line of it. You are the soldiers that are there every day. All these organizations can be behind us, Head Start can be behind us, but if we're not out doing the work, it just doesn't get done. All right? And then also, if you look on your table, my sister puts my face on everything, but if you look on the table, there is definitions. Don't worry about the front part of it, the back part. There's definitions. So I believe in engagement. And I'm going to ask for the audience throughout the speech just to help give the definition of some of the things that are there. Can y'all hear me good or no? Who? Can the back? Can you? No? Is it better? All right. It was tall, but this is like... All right, so I want to start my speech off with the definitions that I was talking about. And then we're going to basically come back to them. So some of these words have multiple meanings. So what I did is I took out what I think would be best in what I'm trying to get across to you guys in the speech. The first word is parent. Parent is a person who brings up or cares for another. The second word is child. The definition of child, one strongly influenced by another or by a place or a state of affairs. Protector, a person or thing that protects someone or something. Protect, keep safe from harm or injury. Leader, the person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country. And then hero, a mythological or legendary figure, often of divine descent, endowed with great strength or ability. An illusional warrior, a person admired or achieved a notable qualities. And the last one is one who shows great courage. And then I want to talk about a word called Head Start. Not as the program, but the definition of the phrase Head Start. An advantage granted or achieved at the beginning of a race, a chase, or a competition. However, the second definition is what I like, and I think it matters to us sitting in this room more. A favorable or promising beginning. I want you to remember these definitions, and like I said, throughout the speech, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and make sure that you participate and give back those definitions, because we do things so much and we say words so much that we don't go back to what it really means. So we just say them in our everyday life. So most of the parents who come to Head Start and ECAP programs have history. History that we are not happy with. Some are even ashamed of it. So we try to come to you as normal as possible. We sit in front of you in our intake, and we want to tell you what you want to hear. But some of us are broken and lost. When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see a man that's been homeless for over 10 years? Do you see a man that slept on the subway trains of New York City and rolled them until the nighttime got away and the daytime came up? Do you see a man that tried to kill himself twice because I could not understand how I got into the position that I was in? You see, I grew up in Brooklyn, Brownsville, one of the worst areas of crime and poverty in New York City. The crime is so bad that I checked recently within 2 years that they don't even put the crime that happens there on the New York City's records. I saw death in the hallways. I saw drug dealers in front of my door. I saw abuse in my home. I witnessed firsthand murder and experienced poverty that many talk about. See, I came to a place where pain was normal. It was the way of life. I came from a place where ambitions is something that we talked about but hardly attained. You're looking at a man that has gone through something in life, but didn't realize that I was going through something. My mother was a 260-pound black woman with low self-esteem. Nobody was there to give her a conversation about being more. No one was there to help my mother understand that just because we lived in the projects, that this was not our future. No one cared for my mother or helped her in the way she needed. This is why a place like Head Start is so important to our community. This is why a place like Head Start is needed for us who are trying to find our way. I'm talking about a place that makes parents, a mother or a father, feel as if they have a purpose, not just in their children's lives, but in their own lives. If my mother would have just had somebody from my school pay her a visit like Head Start does, if my mother just had an intake person say, what is your goals? What do you have planned for you and your family? I'm talking about a place that takes your child in, and no matter what condition they are, accepts them and teaches them as if they're their own. I'm talking about a place that where directors push and encourage staff and parents to do better. Pennsylvania, is Head Start that place for you? Is Head Start that place for you?
Yes.
I came to Head Start because I couldn't afford to put my children in daycare or pre-K. My wife and I were both working low-income jobs, and in Washington State, just to have childcare was $800 a month. It even went up now. It's $1,200 now, and that's just from 8 to maybe 4. All I can say is thank God for Head Start. Thank God for Head Start. Let's read the meaning of Head Start again. Can anybody? Now here we go, the engagement. Need somebody just to read the Head Start? Person with the mic. Don't look, you know what they say in class, don't let me pick on you. Anybody? Right there? We got a mic coming for you.
All right. Head Start, an advantage granted or achieved at the beginning of a race, a chase, or a competition. Head Start, a favorable or promising beginning.
Let's look at the second. Thank you very much. Give a round of applause. Let's look at the second definition. As parents, we want our children to have a favorable beginning. That is for anyone who loves their children, that's the one thing that we are looking for and we want. Now, when you look at the definition of child, I'm going to read this one. One strongly influenced by another or by a place or state of affairs. You see, our children are influenced by what we do. They look for guidance and encouragement. They look for us to show them the way. But how can I do that when I don't even know the way for myself? Understand that the definition didn't talk about age. It didn't talk about race. It didn't talk about gender. It didn't talk about the state of mind. It says one strongly influenced by another. Some of us are adults are still children. When I sat in the intake and got into, we have ECAP, which is early learning. Who was the person that read it yesterday? It was early learning, childhood development. And the lady asked me, what is your goals? I have never been asked that as an adult. When I was a child, it was the number one thing that everybody kept saying to me. Where do you want to be when you grow up? Where are you going? But when soon as I became the age and I was an adult, my goals no longer mattered. We need a helpful influence in our life. How was I supposed to learn to be a parent and advocate for my children? I certainly didn't know how to do it. I certainly didn't understand what it meant. I found my mother dead on the floor at the age of 11. And my father just died 8 months before. So I didn't get that parenting skills that a lot of people had. So understand, when you have a program that not just takes your child, but takes you as well, you feel like somebody cares about you, like my mother needed. You feel like somebody is listening to your voice and saying to you, where do you want to go, young man? Where do you want to go, young boy? Where do you want to go, young girl? So it puts us back as a child. Let's look at the second definition of parent. Can somebody read the second definition of parent? Real quick, raise your hand. Second definition. Oh, really? All right, so I'm going to pick. All right.
Is the person who brings up and cares for him. Whoops, sorry.
Thank you. As parents, we want the best for our children, but some of us don't know what that is or what that looks like. Maybe it's because our own parents were dealing with their issues and nobody was talking to them. Maybe it's because the example in our community was not there. When I became the vice chair of the policy council, I didn't want to do it. And when I tell you I didn't want to do it, I ran for it for almost 2 weeks. And then I had the director of the program come and knock on my door and said, I'm just giving you a house visit. and through the whole conversation, at the end it was, do you want to be on the policy council? But when it became the vice chair of the policy council, I realized that I was being put into a position to be a leader. My parent coordinator encouraged me to get and run for vice chair. She wouldn't let up. She said, you have the qualities. Somebody saw it in me. Somebody looked at me and said that I was better than the condition that I was in with temporary housing, with coming out of homeless with my son and my wife. This led me, well, I did win, let me say it that way. And that led me to go to Washington, D.C., and speak with officials about Head Start and its importance, why Head Start was needed, and why and how it helps children and parents. I never believed that I would speak with senators, House representatives, White House staff. I was advocating for parents in Washington State, and I was advocating for myself and my children and the children of others. Think about this. This once homeless, broke, lost black man was speaking on behalf of others. I started to understand that I was being made more than what I was. I started to see that I was becoming and being made into a protector of not only my children, but other people's children as well. Children are supposed to be protected by their parents. Who are the adults and parents protectors? Think about what I'm telling you and what I'm saying. Who are the parents and adults protectors? I'm not talking about crime. I'm not talking about police and when something happens to you, you go to them and you say, I got robbed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the red tape, budget cuts, political agendas that my mind can't deal with because I'm dealing with trying to survive right now. I want you to understand the definition of protector. A person or thing that protects someone or something. Understand that you are all protectors in this room. But I want you to understand what it is to protect, to keep safe from harm or injury. Most of us as parents, many people don't know that we're walking around one step away from getting out of here. The first time that I tried to kill myself, it was after I got put on child support. And I went to work, and the gentleman that I had the experience to work in this restaurant, and the gentleman told me after he ran everything that I can't hire you because child support won't let you get your license. In a field that I had already worked 10 years in. But then I asked the gentleman, well, how am I supposed to take the child support if I can't get my license? And he said to me straight up, not my problem. It made me think of myself for the 15 years that I was married and the 5 children that I helped raise, that I was no longer fit as a father. I was no longer daddy. I was this person that did not know or understood how to take care of my child. And the state of New York made sure that I understood it. A person that protects is a person that makes nothing happen to the people that they're protecting. As an adult, you're the only people that we can come to for that fight for us. You're the only people that we can come to that sees more in us. I'm talking about adults like me with children and minimum wage jobs and no benefits. Who is our protector? I don't know the laws. I didn't understand the legislative policies. I couldn't put together not having enough seats for my children to get pre-K education. And I can't lie to you, even today I don't even understand that. How do I not have enough seats if a room is big enough for my child to have a seat and learn? All of you as directors, all of you as parent coordinators, you are our protectors. See, I want you to know you are our voice. You're our guide. You're our advocates. Because you cannot rely on legislators or Congress people and council people to show us what's going on. When WASA, Washington State Association of Head Start, took us to Olympia, a senator, a legislator that's been there for almost 15 years, said to all of us in the room as Head Start parents, I've been trying to figure out why to fund Head Start and ECAP, but I just can't. This is a man that's been sitting there with information. And I sat there, and unbeknownst to my big mouth, I asked him, where does your child go to school when they were young? And he was trying to be around it, but thank God to Joel, who said, he's asking you a question. Where did your child go to school when he was before kindergarten, before young? And Joel was excited because he saw where I was going for it. And that legislator said, well, he was in private school and we had a nanny. And all of us in the room, I got up and left. But all of us in the room were stunned. Because here it is, a man that's sitting in a seat that the people put him in, that people in his district was getting a head start. He didn't understand the value of it. We need leaders to guide us. So let's talk about leaders. First, let's define the word leaders. Now, I just want to do this. I need 3 directors. Do we have 3 directors or supervisors in here over center? Don't be shy now, because you always ask us to stand up and talk as parents. Just 3 directors, come on. Can you know what, you can pick them out. Who's doing? All right, we got just 3. All right, so real quick, what does leader mean to you? Is the mics on? All right.
How many words do I have?
Look, the quickest possible.
To be a leader, I think, is to forge a path that's good for others and to be that change agent that makes it happen.
All right, thank you. Next.
Having a vision for where you, from listening from others and seeing needs in the community and having a vision of where you'd like to take things to meet unaddressed needs and to help everyone kind of be on an equal playing field.
Okay, thank you.
For me, it's pretty simple. It's to serve, and it's to make a big difference.
All right, thank you. Did you notice how each definition was different to them? Definition of leader from the dictionary says a person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country. I can go there, but I'm not going there. I could have did the joke. If you notice, the definition from the dictionary doesn't say anything about helping. I took, my degree is in, and thank God for getting my associates. I'm on my way to my BA, hopefully. But I took organized leadership. And in taking organized leadership, the one thing that we were taught is it is more than just leading people. See, many of us want to be leaders, but many of the mindsets of our leaders is not about helping people. It's about leading people. Controversial and sometimes outspoken retired General Stanley A. McChrystal said this, and he dealt with leadership more, but in the whole speech he was talking about leaders. Leadership contains certain elements of good management, but it requires that you are inspired, that you build durable trust for an organization to be not just good, but to win. Leadership means invoking participation larger than the job description, commitment deeper than any job contract's wording. What we do understand about leaders, many people that work in supervisors and directors do not understand the pressures that is going on with them. Lots of time, directors and supervisors get several problems thrown at them all at once. But not too many people let them know how important they are in their own lives. People don't drop off a card to your center's director of Head Start and say, thank you. You helped me in my life. For being the best that you can be, you are the one that I look up to. So to all of the directors that are here, I want to say this to you. You are important to us as parents. You are important to the workers, to the teachers that are there. You as a supervisor are not just leading. You are the person that we have to go to and look to for guidance. But it's more because you and the decisions that you make are helping us. Let me say this to all of you directors and people that are over programs and over centers in Head Start. Take time to recalibrate. Take time to reset. Because people don't understand the type of pressure that you are under because you really can't show it. And the key thing is that you really give so much of yourself. You are leading people that are under you that need help as well. Let me say this again. Most of you as directors, supervisors, and people that are over centers are dealing with teachers, dealing with parent coordinators that are going through what some of your clients are going through. So when you look at yourself, you are leading people that need help as well. Your job is to push people beyond their limits they don't even know that they have. McChrystal said it. Leadership means invoking participation larger than the job description. Because when you get to the mindset, you are no longer just a director in the leadership role. when you understand that people under you need just as much help as your clients do, you are not making or helping anybody else with problems. You are now transforming people with heroes. You're transforming people into heroes. Your job is to make sure that every day you are putting out heroes. Who's going to read the definition of heroes? Anybody? Really? We done did this 4 times already. All right, in the back. Let's read the definition of heroes. Yes, please.
A mythological or legendary figure, often of divine descent, endowed with great strength or ability. B, an illustrious warrior. C, a person admired for achievements and noble qualities. And D, one who shows great courage.
Now, D, the one who shows great courage, is what you teachers, directors, and everybody that's dealing with Head Start show every day. But this is the definition that caught me. The first definition amuses me because it states a mythological figure. It means something that does not exist, and it's true. Most of you today did not even envision as your dream job that you would be sitting here at 7 and 11 years old, that you wanted to be a Head Start teacher, a Head Start director, or a parent coordinator. Let's be real. Is there anybody in here that visioned that at 7 or 11 years old? See, it was mythical that you took this position and that you're in it now. Because it was not something that you dreamt about or even thought about being. I see teachers that run from Head Start and go to K through 12, and I've talked to them. And they say to me, Drayton, all the time I realized the important work I was doing over there. Because now they got a little bit more pay, and they're sitting in there and they realize that nobody cares about the children. Teachers run from Head Start, and then they realize that all the paperwork, all the things that they had to fill out, all the caring, all the one-on-one time, all the nurturing, the explanations that you had to do, and all of the things that come with being a Head Start teacher and parent coordinator was about putting a cover over a child to send them into a K through 12 situation that gives nothing and cares nothing about them. Think about what I'm saying. You are sending them into a system that does not care about them. My son Denadre was in Head Start from maybe about 3 months old. When he got to kindergarten, he was smarter than most of the regular students that were there that never went to pre-K. The other smart child that was in there went to ECAP. The teachers did not like him. His teacher didn't know how to deal with him. This is the argument that his teacher said to me about why he was misbehaving. She said, he finishes his work too fast, and he has nothing to do. As you know, my wife and I looked at each other, and we said to ourselves, well, then can you skip him? And she said, why would I skip him? Is he getting the work right? Is he doing the work to completion? And this K through kindergarten teacher tells me that doesn't matter. What matters is that he stays on course with the class. So understand that when you, as Head Start teachers, are teaching children, you are sending them into a field that they need that armor around them to deal with that. Because Head Start had already prepared my son for what he was about to go through. The hardest job you can do is the job that no one sees as important to the world. Let me say that again. The hardest job that you can do is one that no one sees is important to the world. Many legislators don't see that you are building the next entrepreneur, but we do as parents. Many Congress people don't see that you are teaching the next scientists that will come up with the cure for something. But we do as parents. Many council people don't see that your programs are building the minds to help our children become better in their community. But we do as parents. Many rich people in the community don't see that you are building somebody that is becoming better. But we do as parents. You are doing the work that many do not see as important, but it is. You are not only helping those of us that are helpless, you are putting the condition in us to know that we can go on and do better. You are changing some families' lives, direction for the future. You are taking some families and putting them on the path of greatness. Because we all want to be better. We all want more for ourselves and our family. I want to quote something from Theodore Roosevelt on being an American. Much has been given to us, and much is rightfully be expected from us. We have duties to others and duties to ourselves, and we can shirk neither. We have become a great nation, forced by the fact that greatness unto our relationships is with other nations on the earth. And we must behave as been seen as people with such responsibilities. And I say to you today, many of you that are sitting in a position to help those in need, understand that the people like me are coming to you not just for a handout, not just to receive free childcare, not just to complain about our lives, but for the human right to survive and become the great American that this country talks about. I know that the people do not see your value, but let me tell you this. Do know that you are doing the world a great favor by helping us raise our children from pre-K. You are doing a great favor by giving our children great quality care. You are showing that child that whatever they are going through, whether it's poverty or seeing abuse like I did, not having food at home like I did, that when they step into a Head Start classroom and everybody from the teachers to the directors, you take them under your wing, they know and understand that they are loved. My son came home and said one day that my teacher said I was great. And he said, "Daddy, you say the same thing." And I said, "I do." He said, "So now I understand I'm great no matter where I'm at." You are not only giving us education, but you are giving us a chance. You have the power to change lives. You have the power to help families and individuals become better. I know you're not getting paid enough. I know the workload is heavy. I know the paperwork is annoying. I know it feels like no one understands. I know that there is more on your plate than just education. But I'm here to tell you that the work that you are doing is so much more important than you would ever know. This is your destiny. This is the place where you were chosen to be. You are the right woman, the right man, the right person for this job. See, parents, I'm telling you today as a witness, as a person who came to Head Start broken and lost. And Head Start changed my life and is making me a better person. I'm not sitting in front of you today the same that I was even 4 years ago, even 2 years ago, even last year. I'm growing out of being that homeless man. I'm growing out of being that lost cause. My future as a parent is being changed every day that I do events like this and interact with other parents in Head Start and other directors and supervisors. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Fight for your children that have behavioral issues. Become the parent that advocates not only for your child, but for others. Understand that every day you are growing into heroes. You are becoming leaders. Fight for your child with autism so that they go out into this world and not be judged by what their condition is. Fight for your child that has behavioral problem issues so that when they go out into this world, they can understand that that is a spark of genius. See, parents, this is our time. We have a voice at Head Start because through K through 12, you become PTA. In K through 12, they tell you you don't understand all of this. We have the power to go out and let our voices be heard throughout this country. So don't just sit back and say, I'm here to and help me. Join in the fight and help all of us as parents, as directors, parent coordinators, teachers, supervisors, and anyone that's in the fight, that we can stand together and fight as one superhero cause, and make sure that we are not only just sitting here looking and saying we got help, but we are also making the future leaders and the future superheroes of this country. I thank you guys. Thank you guys.